Hi guys, what's up? It's Cubus here. Today I've got for you a review of a game tied in with one of the biggest Hollywood blockbusters of 2015. Here is my opinion about Mad Max. The game does a very good first impression. Graphics looks very good, even though they are mostly in the shades of grey and brown. The game world, just like in the movies, is a great festival of petrol and speed. You quickly become acquainted with its reality, but this is a wasteland where every single piece of scrap is precious and that you should be thankful for every drop of petrol and water that you can find, as they are equally rare as honest politics. But soon enough the game starts to degrade rapidly. It turns out that you don't really have to be bothered with your supplies, as they are not that scarce as the game suggested you they would be. That's because there are 4 progression systems in this game. First, leveling up all the abilities of your protagonist. Second, equipping him with a better gear. Third, upgrading your car. And the last but not least, expanding ally strongholds. That one will provide you with limitless supply of water, petrol and ammunition, while Liberated Camps will provide you with nice and steady stream of scrap, which acts for currency. And yes, liberating camps work a lot like in other games that had similar idea, but it doesn't work so good here. The thing is that in order to unlock new upgrades, be it to car, stronghold or the protagonist, the game forces the player to do all the different tasks that are boring, repetitive and quite exhausting, to be honest. And as developers decided to focus on single player only, it really bugs me that the story is so shallow and meaningless. I finished the game 2 days ago and I struggle to think of anything memorable. There are a lot of other minor things that I don't like about the design of Mad Max. But I think the best summary for this game, as crazy as it may sound, is to tell that it feels like if it is an overhaul mod for Shadow of Mordor, another game published a year ago by Warner Bros. I rate the design at 5 points out of 10, but if you enjoyed Shadow of Mordor and unlike me you didn't find it repetitive or fatiguing, you will probably have a much better time with Mad Max than I did. When I started playing this game, I was pretty amazed by the way it looked. It had a solid frame rate, long distance view, very good lighting and highly detailed graphics. Well, as much as desert can be detailed. Then I saw all the particle effects. Dust from under your car's tires, sparks when you're grinding it against your opponent's vehicles and mesmerizing explosions. It was all really pretty and I enjoyed it a lot. But about halfway through the game it started to limp. It started to drop frames randomly, lip sync and facial animations weren't that good anymore, then the sound started to desynchronize or disappear altogether, and collisions suddenly weren't calculated correctly. I even got stuck in a place where I shouldn't have got into in the first place. It was so bad that I had to restart the game. It seems like if there wasn't enough time to polish all the game, so they decided to make it good only in the beginning, as a lot of players don't finish their games. With more often bugs, my experience was gradually degrading and the game was stacking its technical issues on my already moderately joyful design opinion. Don't get me wrong, it's okay and obviously nowhere near the horror of Assassin's Creed Unity, but still it was pretty disappointing to see that there were more and more technical faults and they were occurring more and more frequently, and that's why I awarded 5 points out of 10 for its technicalities. It's a pity, but the best part of my review is going to be the marketing side. There are only 3 small DLCs for this game and all of them are free, so that's a plus. You don't get to buy some barely good enough story DLCs and that's good. What I dislike is that this game was clearly rushed by the publisher. Although it isn't an official tie-in for last year's blockbuster, The Fury Road, I think that was the reason for the game being unpolished. I find it hard to believe that it was released on the same date as movies' Blu-ray and DVD editions by accident. I am convinced that it was probably scheduled for release alongside the cinema premiere, but it was probably in a way worse state than it is. But as I don't really have any evidence to back my claims, I will not take it into account. And basing on the free DLC and the little amount of diverse content in the game, there are like 5 main activities in it that were copied and pasted all over then, I rate its business side at 6 points out of 10. It all feels like if the game was rushed. Both in design and technicalities, we will witness a continuous downhill, with activities getting boring, story being meaningless, and rising amount of technical issues. It looks as if developer had to make a compromise and just decided, but it's less important in later parts of the game, as a lot of players don't finish the games. That's why I give Mad Max a total of 16 points out of 30. I just hope that without oversee from this publisher, Avalanche did a better job with their Just Cause 3, which I plan on testing in upcoming months. As always, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you would like to see more of these, please subscribe to this channel and follow Is It Patched on Facebook for more frequent updates.